I believe this is my era, and this is my turn. In order for him to keep going.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler dominated the middleweight division for 7 brutal years without losing a single title defense.
To keep his hands down low to try to block those body punches, but all he's doing is setting himself up.
Sources close to the bald destroyer reveal he watched classic fight films obsessively in his Brockton training camp. His list of favorite fighters surprises fans because it features both savage warriors and defensive artists.
Seen him last week, really. We was in Muhammad Ali, and I was there with WBC and in UCLA.
These 10 boxers earned Hagler's eternal admiration through courage, skill, and pure entertainment value that transcended their eras. Number 10. Carlos Monzon. Carlos Monzon opens Hagler's list as the Argentine middleweight king whose cold efficiency defined championship dominance.
Griffith continue. Try to move forward.
The South American legend's 14 consecutive title defenses gave Hagler the blueprint for his own reign.
And I think for him, it's probably the same thing too, because I've been haunting him for years.
Sources say Hagler watched Monzon fights repeatedly to understand systematic destruction of contenders without taking unnecessary risks. The calculated aggression Monzon displayed showed Hagler what ruthless consistency looks like over a championship career. Industry insiders claim Hagler studied how Monzon made elite opponents look ordinary through superior ring intelligence. The Argentine's ability to adjust tactics mid-fight influenced Hagler's own versatility against different styles. Monzon's professional approach without trash talk or showmanship resonated with Hagler's own serious demeanor. The tragic personal life Monzon suffered after retirement taught Hagler about demons that follow fighters outside the ring. Hagler referenced Monzon when discussing the loneliness of being an avoided champion. The respect Monzon earned through pure dominance rather than personality showed Hagler that results speak louder than words. The Argentine legend proved that middleweight champions must destroy every contender to maintain respect and control of the division. Number 9. Emil Griffith. Emil Griffith earns the 9th spot as the welterweight and middleweight champion whose courage Hagler admired deeply.
Want me to take it from me the right way. They did it the only way they knew how. Now there's 3 champions. There's a middleweight model out there.
The Virgin Islands fighter's ability to succeed across weight classes fascinated Hagler throughout his career. Sources claim Hagler studied Griffith's victories over Dick Tiger and Nino Benvenuti to understand championship versatility. The tragic Benny Paret fight and its aftermath showed Hagler the psychological burden fighters carry after ring fatalities. Hagler met Griffith several times during the 1970s and 80s at boxing events. Industry veterans say Griffith's resilience through personal struggles and career-long wars influenced Hagler's respect for veterans. The ability Griffith displayed adjusting between aggressive brawling and technical boxing taught Hagler about tactical flexibility. Griffith's later revelation about his sexuality and the discrimination he faced resonated with Hagler's own battles for recognition. Hagler referenced Griffith when discussing fighters who overcame tragedy and controversy to maintain championship excellence. The welterweight and middleweight success proved that true champions adapt and survive regardless of weight class or personal demons haunting them. Number 8. Dick Tiger. Dick Tiger takes the 8th position as the Nigerian middleweight whose professionalism Hagler modeled his own career after.
I got H-U-R-T written in my mind. That means I'm going to destruct and destroy.
The African champion's systematic approach and dedication to craft showed Hagler what complete focus accomplishes.
Some floating. Now that jab is starting to work on Tiger.
Sources say Hagler related to Tiger as another avoided fighter who had to prove himself repeatedly. The respect Tiger commanded through consistent excellence rather than flashy knockouts influenced Hagler's own patient championship reign. Hagler studied Tiger's ability to compete at the highest level while supporting the Biafran war effort financially. Industry historians claim Tiger's courage fighting through personal tragedy taught Hagler about mental toughness. The professional demeanor Tiger maintained despite being an outsider in American boxing resonated with Hagler's own struggles for recognition. Tiger's victories over Gene Fullmer and Joey Giardello showed Hagler that patience and skill overcome favoritism. Hagler stated Tiger represented the ultimate professional who treated boxing like serious business. The Nigerian warrior proved that focus and dedication create championship reigns even when promoters and media ignore your achievements consistently. Number 7. Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran sits at number 7 as the warrior whose fighting spirit matched Hagler's own relentless mentality. Hands of Stone's legendary lightweight dominance and movement through weight classes fascinated Hagler throughout both their careers. Sources claim they sparred together in training camps during the early 1980s with mutual respect.
Threw 83 punches, he threw 82, he threw 83. Yeah. I didn't know there was that many punches that could be thrown in around.
The ability Duran displayed adapting from 135 pounds to challenging middleweights showed Hagler what true versatility looks like. Hagler watched Duran's wars against Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns to study how smaller fighters survive against bigger opponents. Industry insiders say Duran's street fighter toughness and refusal to back down resonated with Hagler's own mentality. The 4-decade career Duran maintained proved that true warriors never quit, regardless of losses or setbacks. Their friendship grew through shared understanding of what championship dedication requires. Hagler mentioned Duran represented pure fighting heart that modern boxing was losing. The Panamanian legend showed that warrior mentality combined with technical skill creates careers spanning multiple generations and weight divisions successfully. Number 6. Ruben Carter. Ruben Hurricane. Carter earns the 6th spot as the middleweight contender whose aggressive style and personal struggles resonated with Hagler deeply.
I realize now what they want to see. Every championship fight, they want to see a knockout. They want to see somebody knocked down. They want to see somebody beat up.
The New Jersey fighter's devastating left hook and relentless pressure fascinated Hagler during his development years. Sources say Hagler studied Carter's victories over Florentino Fernandez and Emil Griffith to understand explosive power combined with calculated aggression.
Boys trading good leather here in round 1.
The ability Carter displayed destroying opponents in early rounds showed Hagler what instant offense accomplishes. Hagler followed Carter's wrongful murder conviction and imprisonment closely throughout the 1970s. Industry insiders claim Carter's fight for justice while maintaining his fighting spirit inspired Hagler's own battles against promotional injustice. The Hurricane's refusal to break under false imprisonment taught Hagler about mental toughness beyond physical fighting. Carter's eventual release and vindication proved that truth emerges when warriors never surrender. Hagler referenced Carter when discussing fighters who faced battles outside the ring harder than any opponent inside it. The Hurricane proved that maintaining dignity and fighting spirit through injustice creates legacies extending beyond boxing records. Carter showed that true warriors never quit regardless of circumstances. Number 5. Jake LaMotta. Jake LaMotta takes the 5th position as the Raging Bull, whose toughness defined what refusing to quit means. The Bronx fighter's legendary chin and ability to absorb punishment fascinated Hagler throughout his career.
I'm sorry about what happened. He said, you did just that, didn't you? I said, that's right. And I said, if you don't put Marvelous down, there's going to be me and you, fella.
Sources claim Hagler watched the 5 LaMotta-Robinson wars repeatedly to study survival against superior opponents. The pressure fighting style LaMotta perfected showed Hagler how relentless forward movement breaks down defensive boxers.
From the front, force the people out again. Actually, I shouldn't say that because what round...
Hagler met LaMotta several times in New York during the 1970s and 80s. Industry veterans say LaMotta's stories about never hitting the canvas influenced Hagler's own pride in his granite chin. The ability LaMotta displayed taking Robinson's best shots and remaining upright inspired Hagler's defensive responsibility. LaMotta's victory over Marcel Cerdan proved that pressure and toughness overcome skill when fighters refuse to back down. Hagler stated LaMotta had the toughest chin in middleweight history. The Raging Bull proved that refusing to fall creates psychological advantages that wear down even the most skilled opponents over 15 rounds of brutal warfare. Number 4. Willie Pep. Willie Pep sits at number 4 as the defensive wizard whose skills mesmerized Hagler despite opposite fighting styles. The will-o'-the-wisp's ability to make opponents miss hundreds of punches represented boxing artistry at its finest. Sources say Hagler studied Pep's featherweight performances to understand defensive angles and footwork patterns. The famous round where Pep won without throwing a punch became Hagler's favorite boxing story. Hagler referenced Pep when discussing the importance of defensive responsibility, even for aggressive fighters. Industry historians claim Pep's influence appeared in Hagler's improved defense during his championship years. The 229 victories over 26 years showed Hagler what longevity through defensive brilliance creates. Pep's ability to frustrate aggressive opponents taught Hagler about making fighters miss before countering. Hagler mentioned Pep represented pure boxing skill that required different appreciation than knockout power. The featherweight master proved that making opponents look foolish through defensive mastery is boxing's most beautiful and effective art form. Number 3. Henry Armstrong. Henry Armstrong earns the third spot as Homicide Hank, whose work rate and relentless pressure inspired Hagler's own style. The Depression-era legend's ability to hold 3 world titles simultaneously amazed Hagler throughout his career. Sources claim Hagler studied Armstrong's fights to understand constant activity and overwhelming opponents through volume punching. The featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight dominance Armstrong achieved showed Hagler what true versatility accomplishes. Hagler referenced Armstrong when discussing fighters who maximized every moment in the ring without wasting motion. Industry analysts say Armstrong's non-stop attacking mentality influenced Hagler's own pressure fighting approach. The hunger Armstrong displayed coming from poverty resonated with Hagler's own difficult background. Armstrong's 150 victories proved that relentless forward pressure combined with conditioning breaks any defense. Hagler stated Armstrong represented the most dangerous style for defensive fighters who rely on movement. Homicide. Hank proved that constant punching from all angles eventually overwhelms even the most skilled boxers when activity never stops for 15 rounds. Number 2. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali takes the second position as the greatest, who showed Hagler that boxing creates platforms beyond sports.
Really to a guy named Muhammad Ali because basically he brought in the money aspect into the game of boxing.
Yeah, he opened it up for the really big purses.
The Louisville legend's speed and movement at heavyweight fascinated Hagler despite their different weight classes. Sources say Hagler watched Ali's fights to understand how courage outside the ring matters as much as inside it. The sacrifice Ali made refusing military induction inspired Hagler's own willingness to stand on principles. Hagler met Ali several times during the 1970s and developed genuine admiration for the aging champion. Industry insiders claim Ali's rope-a-dope strategy against George Foreman taught Hagler about tactical adjustments. The ability Ali displayed entertaining crowds while dominating opponents showed Hagler that personality sells fights. Ali's Parkinson's diagnosis later haunted Hagler about boxing's long-term consequences. Hagler referenced Ali when discussing athletes who transcend their sports to become cultural icons. The heavyweight legend proved that boxing greatness combined with courage creates legacies extending far beyond championship belts. Ali showed Hagler that standing for something matters more than winning everything in the ring. Number 1. Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson claims the top spot as Hagler's ultimate inspiration and the standard he measured his entire career against. The Harlem legend's complete mastery of every boxing fundamental gave Hagler the ultimate standard to chase. Sources say Hagler watched Robinson's fights more than any other boxer to understand technical perfection. The combination of speed, power, defense, and ring intelligence Robinson displayed showed Hagler what complete fighting looks like. Hagler studied Robinson's footwork and combination sequences when developing his own offensive arsenal. Industry analysts claim Robinson's ability to entertain while destroying opponents influenced Hagler's understanding of showmanship. The 173 victories over 25 years represented sustained excellence that Hagler believed defined true greatness. Robinson's struggles with finances despite his success taught Hagler about protecting earnings carefully. Hagler referenced Robinson constantly when reporters asked about the greatest middleweights in boxing history. The welterweight and middleweight dominance Robinson achieved became the measuring stick for every champion after him. The original Sugar proved that middleweight excellence combined with longevity creates legacies that span generations and inspire future champions. Hagler's list celebrates warriors and artists who defined boxing excellence across multiple eras and weight classes. Which classic fighters could you watch forever? Share your timeless favorites in comments and subscribe for more legendary boxing history and middleweight championship stories.